exclusive. An 18-year-old member of the Pathways International Ministries recalls how he was shot and injured as he attempted to leave the church on that fateful night on October 17. Kirk Wright has the details.
The young man, who was still visibly shaken when we saw him, says he remains in shock and disbelief. He did not want to show his face, but tells us Pastor Kevin Smith, who is now dead, had him and the other church members under a spell. On the night in question, he says Smith posted on his Facebook page that a tsunami was approaching and that all members should pack up and come to the Ark, a reference to the church. The young man said he went to the church because he believed the pastor that the tsunami would kill everyone outside. He says inside, Smith became angry and began acting as if he was tormented.
He started a couple things, mash them up, mash up, he wind them round on it, mash up cheer, mash up everything. Mash up glass and all, cut up himself and a ball out in the church. I say, oh, what is this, man? I wonder if I transform me when they transform me in God now. I do things that run through mind now, you see me? Then he walk and I cuss and I walk and I say people turn them back on him and he come in the flesh and we don't realize him and all type of something. That's God. We don't realize him. So we did up on the gun and him a walk and you see me? Come out something he all walk away. He walk on him, up on the gun and he walk on him.
The young man says in spite of all that, he still saw Smith as a god and never lost respect for him. He says at this time, about 9 members were inside while others were outside clamoring to get inside the church.
Because some people will come on the property. Because people want to come in and you know. So they out there ball out, say, Your Majesty, let us in, we're going to die.
At one point inside the church, the young man recalled that the pastor gave instructions to a church member to kill another, saying he would bring him back to life. The member was stabbed in the back, and immediately after, the young man says Smith followed up by shooting him. The young man says a few minutes later, he saw the member that Smith had just shot back inside the church, begging him for help.
So, Mr. Corey, I walk and I say, Your Majesty, I got shot. Can you heal the pain?
He recalled another bizarre act by Pastor Smith, which led to the death of a man who had come to the church for healing. He says the man was sick and had some tubes in his chest.
So the pastor looked upon him and say, Yo, do you believe that I am God? And the man said, Yes, I believe. Do you believe that I can resurrect you when you die? And the man said, Yes. So the pastor I say, Alright. Pull out the chest tube out time on him. The man start bleed out and him. While the man start bleed out, the man take off his shirt, take off his pants, and Andre and next man, we don't know his name. Like enough people there, see me, put him on the ground and make him man bleed out. That man is on the ground, he black. Black man, black, slim and black. He bleed up on the ground, man. And the pastor say he must die. And I call it resurrect him again, you understand?
Following that, the young man says Smith gave him and another member knives, saying he was going to begin allowing the other members inside and that they should be killed. It was then, he says, Smith called Tanika, the late employee of Appliance Traders inside the church, and started questioning her.
And the pastor said, Do you believe that I am God in the flesh? And she said, Yes. And then the pastor said, Do you believe that I can resurrect you again when you die? And the girl said, Yes, you see me? And then the pastor said to Andre, saying, Go and kill her. But this girl is no mad smart, you know, they are dead. Run for your life. In my mind, no. Because if I did say it out loud, maybe that said sense might be going to kill me instead. I tell her, say some type of foolish, brother.
What did she do after the pastor said that? Did she put up any resistance or she stood there waiting to be killed?
She hold up her hand. She hold up her hand and start bawling and say, God, you are God. That I tell the man, say, my God, you know. You are God, you are God. We say, I kneel on her knee and the man just go, brother just go and cut it. I see a man cut the woman short. I say, John, really this a go on? It's a woman, the man just kill in front of me. I look at me and say, yo, no man. This serious. All that time I pray, say, I go tap him. But if I go tap him, maybe I get shot or, you see me?
He says that sometime after 5 in the evening, Members of the security forces arrived, but it took some time before they stormed the church. The young man said the police woman, who is a member of the church, was kneeling beside Smith, who then gave her instructions to take on members of the security forces who were outside.
And tell her, say, yo, go on, go worry police, then me give you power, you can't dead, go on. Say, policeman, get up. Because you give policeman a robe, you know. When a female robe, them put on you over her. So she feel mighty, you know, like so she can't dead. Say, policeman walk like a robot a galang. But you know, you go fire no shot at all. You turn up one side, so you lean over.
Then he says Smith instructed another member of the church who lived at Smith's house to take up a knife and attack the police and soldiers.
The pastor tell him, say, go. No shot can kill you. You cannot die. You are immortal. Go and fight. You say, come on, take up a long old knife, someone like a, you know, a Rambo knife. Eh? Take up a knife and run out for soldier and police. What shot fire, man? What, man? He passed dead, man. About 15 shot in get.
The young man says he was shot while trying to flee the church compound in fear of his life. He says he ran towards the police in the dark who believed he was trying to attack him and was shot. He's refuting claims that they were all naked when the security forces stormed the church. He did say that the pastor gave an instruction for them to take off their clothing and adorn themselves in white material. He said that did happen, but that they were always wearing their undergarment. Kirk right here in Montego Bay for TVJ News.